Hello, and welcome to another video talking about some updates that are coming out in version 7.0 of dbs-deckplanet. Today we'll be going over our updated version of a meta breakdown. So in our meta sheets, you can see some tournaments that have gone on that we have data for. Unfortunately, we're not always told about all the events that are going on, and therefore we lack a lot of data. But when we get the data from the community, we'll put it into our meta spreadsheets and be added to our meta page. And with our latest update, we'll get extended breakdowns of what's going on. In our new meta update, we've updated our entire meta event page for each specific event to showcase more information that you, the users, would like to see, such as a smaller, more compact version of our hero badge, which has a smaller image, so it takes up less screen, and gives you a little bit more details as to what the event is, with badges such as official, the player count, and the date that it took place on. Below that, we've added insights to try to give you a quick, easy rundown of everything that's gone on in the event. And in this insight section, you'll have a leader breakdown and a top non-leader breakdown, specific for both Dragon Ball Masters and Fusion World. The leader breakdown is meant to show you a pie chart, quick, easy debrief of all the different cards that have been played or leaders that have been used in the entire tournament. Unfortunately, we typically only get top 16. If we had more deck information based off of the event, this would show you all the decks that have been accumulated for the event and would be a way more accurate spread of the event itself. Additionally, if you're on desktop, you can hover over items on the pie chart and it'll give you a little tooltip of what that is. We have this color coded so that it's color coded to the individual card's color. Therefore, you can easily tell what colors have been played in the event. So even though Bojack and Dr. Rinsu are both blue, they do show up as blue on the pie chart. Additionally, if you go over to the most played cards or the card breakdown by usage, you'll see the same thing as well. So for us, Koitsukai happens to be a black card, but since we're in dark mode indicates that it should be flipped in reverse, so this is now showing white. Koitsukai has been the most played card in this event at 75 copies. We do have a little breakdown on the y-axis here of the card name. However, Dragon Ball happens to have some of the largest card names in existence, and therefore we can only show off a certain amount of card names at the time. So it is very imperative that you use the desktop version and use the tooltip hover system to see exactly which cards are which. We're trying to make this a little bit better for mobile devices as well. Now, if you're a premium user, you get some additional insights as well, such as deltas as to what cards made top cuts versus what cards did not make top cuts. So, of all the Bojack players in top 16, 12.5% of all of them made top 16, while the other 6.3% of them did not make top 16. You'll get a little bit more breakdown on that. Same thing with fallers. Every single person who played Son Goku face off with the Great Demon King did not make top 16, versus 6.3% of them did make top 16. Again, if we had a much wider spread of information for these events, this information for the premium sites may matter a bit more and will vary based off of that data. Same thing with the non-leader cards. If you included them in your deck, how likely were you to get up to top 16 or top 8? And then some tech-heavy cards that were heavy for the event but did not see usage in the non-top 8. This would matter more if we had a lot more data. Down below, you'll also see the standings. We've already had our standings be updated in a previous update for the meta page, but now we've added it to be fitting the entire screen and much easier to see at first glance compared to previously it was much more compacted and hard to see at a first glance. But we also have badges to indicate who's first, second, third, and then other rankings down below. We also have you default to top 8, but if you want to see everything, you can always swap the tab to the all section and it'll show you all the other decks that we have for the event. Again, this is only from the information that we were supplied. Now, if we were supplied a lot more information, you would see a lot more decks in this section, but unfortunately, we were only supplied 16 out of the 180 decks that were submitted to the event. Below that, you'll have further breakdowns. How many of each leader were here, which is also in the insights as well, but this is a little bit easier to see and gives you more percentages over here as well. And then we have a card usage breakdown, which again was shown up in the insights in a bar graph, but here you can see the exact cards and you click on them to see the card itself in its card modal. And you can check the top 25 cards that had greater than or equal to 25% usage that were in 10 or more decks, or you can just reset this to show all 337. You can also filter this by name. So if I want to look at Hunt, I can see Hunt of the Demon King right there. And I can also take away columns as I so please. So I can take away that card name column and see other information. And that is everything for our update to the meta page. Thank you.